Okay, welcome back to Benkyo. Today we'll be looking at Junzuki Notsukomi and its progression through Kete Junzuki Notsukomi and also Nagashizuki and also Maigeri Nagashizuki. So as ever, if what I'm doing here today, your instructor doesn't agree with it and wants to do it a various other way, then respect them and please go along with their thoughts and their recommendations. Junzuki Notsukomi and Gakuzuki Notsukomi, it's quite unique to the Wado-Ryu system. I'm sure there's people out there that'll say, no, it's not just Wado-Ryu, it's this style of karate, it's that style of karate. But to me, it's more of a unique techniques to Wado-Ryu. So what I'll do is I'll run through a couple of Junzuki Notsukomis, and then what we'll do is break it down. So some of you out there who are not familiar with the Wado-Ryu system, this looks like a Junzuki Jodan, but it's totally different from Junzuki Jodan. Sure, you are Zuki into the face or to the head, but it can be done Gidan, it can be done Chudan, but in general it's just done to Jodan. So what we'll do is talk about the stance and the body posture. That's what makes it totally different from a Junzuki Jodan. So, right from the beginning, when you take your yoi, it shouldn't be too wide. We've talked about this before. Okay? But really it should be just 1 foot width. So, if you think about that as the base of a triangle, and my senju-sen, we want to be taking whichever foot you're taking forward, you want to take that onto your center. And let your back foot turn. To turn your hip, to turn your body, to turn your head, to turn your shoulders. So first of all, try just taking each foot to the center and turn. Forward and turn. Forward and turn. Okay, when you take the foot forward, try not to have it on the inside edge. Really, that's not the center of your foot. Your center of the foot basically comes through the next toe. Here. Yeah, not inside the foot. So try not to mistake it for anything to do with Seishan kata. Yeah. So here. Right, the back foot, you need to turn it to almost 45 degrees. And the way to check is just coming back into yoi. And your foot shouldn't have to move. So to try it, just keep on going forward, turn, back. Forward, turn, back. Forward, turn, back, forward, turn, back, and then try it on the other foot going round. So you're getting the correct foot position from behind and the correct foot position on the front. Main thing for the front one is it's an anchorage point. It's your anchorage point for all the weight that's going through it. If that's slightly off, then your weight diverts either to the inside or the outside. And that's not good for the resultant of the punch, of the Zuki. Your back foot actually dictates or helps the body to rotate naturally. If it's still pointing forward, your hip's not being able to rotate. So the back foot rotates and helps your hip to go forward and your body to go forward. So the next thing to consider is, which makes it totally different from a Junzuki Jodan, is your hip position. And this is to do with your hip. It's not to do with your back, with your spine. It's to do with your hip position. So the punch is not this. This is a Junzuki Jodan, but incorrect foot position. Yeah? We've talked about the stance. Now from here, this should be pulled in to take it forward. Different styles have different positions for this arm. Here or here. Yeah? So, hip. This is important. I'll do an example of the reason why soon. So, try and get this hip to be pulled back to project this arm forward. I try and link things together. And Junzuki Notsukomi is, in my mind, is linked to Shito. So, pulling this hip back is the same as pulling your hip back when you're doing Shito. It's only your back foot and your front foot. Here, lift the heel slightly, pull back, but you have this same hip pulled back. And we've talked about Shito before, taking it from an uki to an uchi. And it's just this body posture which gives you that attacking move rather than just letting it go and it's an uki. It's only a small pull in, but it makes a big difference to the actual technique. Obviously, you need to think about your hikite, your body position, and also your head position. So, the height is here, same height as your eyes are off the floor. It's not politically correct, but it's almost looking through the sights of a gun, the groove. Yeah? Here. Next thing is get your head down, not here. You're giving them a big target. Your head wants to be down. Almost this part of the arm is actually covering your head. Boxers get their head down and punch. So similar. Get your head down, not sticking up. It's going to get shot off. Down here. Yeah, through. So, your head position is important. Natural with your shoulders. Not turned, but just relaxed. Believe it or not, you can move your eyes in their sockets to look forward. You don't have to turn your head here. And your forehead or your head forward, not here. If you get punched, you'll get punched in the nose or the eyes or the mouth. Just relaxing your head down, then it's not the vulnerable eyes, nose, mouth, but it's your head. So think about where your head position is. And also not leaning your head over. That puts a strain on your back. Get to a comfortable position for it. After all, you should be working with your body, not against it. So if you feel any unnecessary pressure anywhere, the only thing you should feel is this hip pulling back to give you that projection. When you're going through, you have to think about where your center of gravity is. Here, going forward. Move should start from here, then through, holding it back to get the torsion. Yeah, then using your back foot to release it through. Again, relaxed, body's turned, goes the back hip. This is how it would be naturally. Natural, because you've taken it back slightly, 1 foot width. Yeah, through, bend, hold this back, then turning the foot. So turning the foot and doing the hikite. So you've got one extremity and the other extremity. So here, bending, hold the hip back, through, turn. So again, coming back to the base of the triangle, center. Yeah, you know if you've overcooked it by doing this, your foot's at the back. Should not be at the back. Should be in line. So if you pulled it back, not heels at the back. Yoi, senju-sen, forward, turn. Check. Center, forward, pull the hip back. Check. Tsuki, the arm, talking about this one. Forget this one at the moment, just tucking it out of the way. So as your eyes are level with the in between your two knuckles, head down. Body position, natural with this turn. Head's natural with your shoulders, not trying to crease it over. Here. Okay, so what I'd like to do with the help of Cash here and his nice crisp white suit, right, we'll be going through a traditional Jodan Ippon-ni, which many of you out there doing the wado-ryu system still use. Okay, maybe you've never thought about this, or maybe you already utilize this, but it's fundamental to your Junzuki Notsukomi and your understanding of senju-sen. And also, the word tsukami means to pierce, yeah, to drive through. So I'm hoping that this will demonstrate my rationale that I used for when I perform Junzuki Notsukomi. I always think of this technique. And it's about arm position and body position and working off the senju-sen. So back again. Yoi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be moving back and then turn. Turn the body out of the way. Off the senju-sen. Turned because of shizentoi. Again. Here. To cut through and in. Not this. Once more. Over the top. Should be, as the Zuki's coming, I should be cutting through, keeping the elbow down. And here. If it's Junzuki, just a Junzuki Jodan, I'd be stepping back, punching here. This is why this is important. This pulling hip back and pushing forward. Once more. Here. Cut through. It's not an additional move. It's not an additional move. It's actually cutting through. And I'm not losing any distance. Watch once more. I've not lost any distance. I'm trying to keep my body where it was. Small. I can try and leave my body here, but turn it. The more I can keep my body forward, the more penetration I'm going to get with the tsuki. Small. So, here. Tsukami. Cutting through. And out. One of the fundamental that you can start to introduce here is sen no sen. Because I need to see which punch, which tsuki is coming. As soon as that goes, then I know that I need to attack. So, here. If I leave it too late, the punch has gone in. Luckily, because I'm turning my body, Kashi shouldn't be able to hit me. But you never know. So, back and turn. But keep my body forward. Not going back. I'm not going to lose any ground. As soon as I start going back, he's onto me again. Oish.